Okay, so now here's the library books I did get. And still, even though it's almost 6 o'clock, the last book has not come in yet. It said, probably coming in right now. Oh, that might be. Come on, dog. You don't need to bark. But no, 6 to 8 when the book's gonna come in. So that will be hopefully not too dark when it comes in. Like hopefully closer to 6 and 8. So then I'll do my complete whatever haul, that comic haul that will be uploaded. At least I'll upload a comic haul tonight because I always like to upload it right when I get the book. You know, and it's just one book too, which is that Starhenge book, like Starhenge book 1, yada yada yada, 1 to 6, Liam Sharp, and that's it. And then complete August haul after August 2023 haul tomorrow. I'll play. Worst case, I'll record it tomorrow, but it'll be uploaded like Tuesday, I think. I'm doing the math right. Maybe later. So we'll have a Labor Day's worth of videos to watch this weekend. There you go. So we got nothing going on this weekend. I just gave you something to do for at least, what, a half hour? Alright. So first one up is a movie. I always like to get at least one movie. Not like I have to get one. Okay, why I said like that. But this, really, my just, wow. That was just completely, like, oh yeah, I'm holding it just fine. I'll say it again. It's Chronicle. Now, the Chronicle, I have the DVD of it, but the DVD does not come with the extended version. And I'm kind of a stickler for that. I have to watch, especially if they say is good, the extended cut of the movie. Especially for a movie I really liked, like this movie, Chronicle. It's very similar to, if you've ever read it, Generation Gone by A.L. Scott. I remember reading that and I was like, this is just like Chronicle. Not like plagiarism like, but just kind of very similar themes, similar like character, you know, so they're also teens, they also is 3 of them. They also got superpowers, but it's different. Here it was just the way they get their powers is different, and what happens to them is a bit different. Although there are a lot of similarities. The more I think about it, but yes, Chronicle. Then we have Bushido, not the Image Comics series Bushido. This is from who actually publishes this? Night. Oh, this is the same who writes it. Yeah, it's the same who writes it. I don't know, but it's a graphic novel, as you can see here. I mainly got this because they're like, oh, ha ha ha, it's not the Bushido from Image Comics, but and it's also a graphic novel. But this one is also of the samurai. So I wonder if Bushido was just like a samurai word, you know. But I wouldn't know because I'm not super into Bushido. I'm super into samurai. I just got those 2 books this month actually, Hitomi and Samurai's Blood. Samurai's Blood, that's what it was called. Samurai's Blood. And then there's also a couple others that I got that are technically samurai. One is technically samurai. This next up is Son of Hitler. It's an Image comic, and it is, as you can tell, it's smaller than your average Image comic trade or average comic trade in general, or hardcover in this case. And I'm already glad I got this from the library because I even getting it on, even if I did get it through a third-party seller, it would still be like a smaller hardcover. I just don't like when Image Comics does that, you know. And there's no way of you knowing. There's no way of them saying it. Like they wouldn't say, "Oh, now in this format." Like it's, you know, no, they wouldn't say that. It's just it's one of those things that probably doesn't make sense to anybody else. But it's just like I like all my, you know, hard covers look different than soft covers, obviously. But I like all my soft covers looking the same, you know, across the board. It's the same size. Should not be that hard for them to do. Next up is another World War II type of book. But well, it's technically World War II. I don't believe it takes place in World War II. It's actually inspired by a true story, and that is Simon Says. It's very interesting. This is why I said World War II. It was very interesting, and it was one I almost bought myself, along with Son of Hitler and another Image comic book you'll be seeing soon here. But I'm trying to do if the library has, you get the fucking library. Me. You know, tell myself to just do that. Get over it, you know. But yes, it's not Son of Hitler. Simon Says. It ended with Choba, it still says T. Huh. Then we have, because this is also teen, this is Batman Arkham Unhinged Volume 4. The final volume in the series. And also, yeah, I know it's been a long time since I had this book. But Not my fault. It was checked out when I wanted to get it. It was checked out for a while too. And the most recent time I went, I just completely forgot to put it in. Yeah, and I believe it's the last volume of the series. I'm almost positive it is. I mean, volume 3 could just as easily have been the final volume. It was the final volume of Derek Filippi's run. Flippos? It's a really weird last name. And then this one's written by Karen Travis? Yep. Next up, so for today's video, I was like, I got this book from the library. It was Teen Titans Earth 1, Volume 1, written by Scott Lobdell. And I was confused because Scott Lobdell does not write Teen Titans Earth 1, it's Jeff Lemire. I put in Teen Titans Volume 5 by Scott Lobdell, the new 52 run. I got this instead, and it was one of those rare instances, and I was like, just, you know what, I'll take with the wrong book. Why not? Because this is one I had wanted to read for a long time, but just completely forgot about. But hopefully next time I put it in, I'll get Teen Titans Volume 5. This next one is one that's a reread, also a reread, but it's one that I own, and that is, I don't know why I put it at the top, and it is Superman American Alien by Max Landis, series that I really enjoyed. One of the first, at least one of the first Superman books I read, and it's what got me into the character, so I have that book next. I'm going to reread it again. I always plan on doing it. I didn't do it. I didn't decide to do it just because they got that Max Landis book yesterday. Yes, it was uploaded yesterday. So yeah, you actually got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and probably Tuesday. So 6 straight days of videos. So usually what happens. This will not happen every month, probably. And I can't say every month. I hope it will, though. You know, I like doing that. But Heroes in Crisis. Tom King. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I was still on American Alien, but when I got Green Valley, I was also Max Landis. Image Comic. Usually when I do that, I'll get some that the author's written. And the other thing that I had was American Alien. Actually, he did write the screenplay, the Chronicle too. But I'd always planned on watching Chronicle and reading Superman. In fact, Chronicle I would have gotten way back when in May, but they didn't have the Blu-ray. I got the DVD back, and I thought they didn't have the Blu-ray, but I looked up on the Gmail, and it was there. And it was so weird. I'll do that sometimes. I'll look up something on ILL and be like, oh, it's not anywhere, man. And it's on Gmail, but usually it's like a Blu-ray or whatever. Same thing happened with Incredibles, which I put in at the same time, and I got it after, and it felt so stupid. But anyways, Heroes in Crisis, Tom King. One of those books that, like with, and this is to a lesser extent for Heroes in Crisis, but like with Aspar, I have to read both series like at least once a year, even though it's terrible. Aspar less so than Heroes in Crisis. Even Aspar is more enjoyable than Heroes in Crisis, and that's Aspar. I have to read those series at least once a year. It's like a tradition. Think of it that way. That's my reasoning behind giving a bad book like that. A very controversial book that no one likes like that. Even people that like Tom King hate that book. Wicked and the Divine, Volume 4. Continuing that series. Like with the next book, it's honestly... Wicked and Divine is the preacher of Image Comics. Or I like that book so much. Probably my favorite Image comic, probably, honestly. If you really think about it, that I don't own already, and I just have to keep rereading my local library until the day I die, because it's just that good of a series, and it's just, I find something new out of both series that I never noticed before, or it's just, you know, remembering whatever I forgot about, you know, it's like, you know, refreshing my memory about what happened in the series, and just because Preacher is so damn good, and because both series are so damn good. Preacher book 4. Unholy Grail, probably the only Cullen Bunn book I did not like that I've read, and I liked everything the guy's written. Cold Spots, his as Guardians of the Galaxy, his Deadpool stuff, his Magneto stuff, his just everything that the guy has written I've loved. That's why I decided just to buckle down and got Cold Spots. It was third-party seller anyways, which kind of helped, because it was much cheaper than they wanted to pay for Amazon, but I just had to buckle down and get that, even though I know the library had it. That's the only time I'll break that rule is if it's cheap enough to get what I need left of writers things done for Image. And I know it's stupid to be that specific about it, but that's the way I am, and I cannot shut that part of my brain off either, as much as I try. I've been trying to get good about it, but as much as I try, I'm usually like, oh, it's like, shut up. So Unholy Grail. Then we have Superior Iron Man, Volume 1. This is a Tom Taylor book, and yes, it's ironic that I got a Tom Taylor book. It's not planned, by the way. It's ironic that I got a Tom Taylor and a Tom King book on the same month. Ooh, did I do the 80/24? No, I did that right, too. I put it in Superman, so obviously. I was trying to think, like, oh, what's going to read Strange Adventures by Tom King? I may or may not do. So if I end up seeing that reviewed. Oh, yeah, no. Scratch that. We're doing this. Alright, so I'll show this one. That was Superior Iron Man by Tom Taylor. And the reason why I said, oh, I got a Tom Taylor book and Tom King book same week. The reason why I said that was because of the fact that I get those two guys confused. Not the only one, by the way, but I get them too confused. This is the other book. This is the book that I mentioned that I was not able to finish when I was reviewing all the comics. Usually I don't do that. Usually I try and finish it. And that is Marvel's Companion. So far, it's pretty damn good. Not every... This is a bunch of series in one. And not every series has been good as the last. And so far, my favorite has been Code of Honor. That's by Chuck Dixon. So, of course, it's going to be my favorite. Chuck Dixon is a fucking godsend. Next up, we have Autumn Lands, Volume 2 by Kurt Busiek. And so far... Even though I've liked this, I'm talking about Volume 1, so far I've liked it better than I did the first time, but still, like, Marvel's is the only Kurt Busiek book I really liked. Everything else has just been blah to bleh. Superman Red and Blue, yet another book I gotta read again. Now the only reason why anyone would hate this book, or not hate this book, but the reason why this book is so controversial and why someone would be like, oh, why are you reading that book again, is because of John Ridley's story. So I completely would agree with someone. That probably does ruin the whole entire series for someone. Because it's just ugly. Ugly and disgusting and absolutely, like, John Ridley should never, ever, ever come 2 feet with, to 2 yards, to 2 miles between Superman. Like, if he gets... He should have, honestly, the Superman writers, they should have, like, a boycott against John Ridley about Superman. That's how bad that book was. There's 10 pages, like, I mean, maybe even less. It was ugly. Ugly. So this is an anthology series, those who don't know. Like a Batman Black and White back in the day, a bunch of writers come and write Superman books. It's a Prestige Plus book, so it's a lot longer than your average issue is. But it's surprisingly fast-paced for some of these issues. Not every issue, obviously. Hence the first one. Maestros. I've really enjoyed this book the first time I read it. I have not read it in a long time. Joe the Barbarian. A book I just have to reread at least every 6 months, or maybe even a year. Frostbite. A series I was supposed to get way back when I bought the free. Well, I got the free as my birthday. That was that Image comic series. I was like, oh, both these plots sound familiar. And I remember really liking Frostbite. It's actually the main reason why I got the frees. Even though they're written by 2 different authors. But I meant to get it back then, never did. But now I do. I had 2 extra slots. Again, 2 books didn't come into this week. I was like, yeah, screw it. I would never wait for those 2 to come in. If it's like, it's always like the next week, I never go. Like, it's bi-weekly. So next week I won't go, but the following week the books don't come in by then. Like, all books don't come in by then, so I have no way of knowing, of predicting. Then I just say, to hell with it, we're just gonna wait until those books, we're not gonna wait until those books come in. We're gonna go that week, and those other books, we'll have to wait till next time, because there's 2 missing books, you know? Or, it's usually just 1. It's never been like 5, thankfully. Genius Cartel. It says Volume 2 Genius. Genius Volume 2 Cartel. I remember, I vaguely remember liking this a lot better than they did the first volume. But it's still kind of like... I mainly got it because it was a cartel book. I was like, yeah, it was in the mood when I put it in. So yeah, Metropolitan, Volume 6. Like the Preacher, a series I gotta read again and again and again. My favorite Warren Ellis book. And still, so far, it still has stuck true. This one I don't know if it's a reread or not. I'm gonna say it's a new newbie boobie, and that is because it should be at least. Because I remember saying like, oh, the missing volume of the next volume of Flash is only written by Brian Bucalato. It's not and Francis Manapul. And I was always like taken back by that, and I vaguely remember that was when it didn't come in, so I never got to see how Brian Bucalato himself writes Flash or writes a series. Yes, this is volume 5. Sorry, volume 6, not volume 5. Volume 6. Very thin. 26, 27, 28, 29. That's why. And the annual. Yeah, that's why. Didn't I get the annual? I thought. The Flash? No. No. Hopefully not, because I hate it when they do material from the annual, and the next volume has some other material. They did that with Wonder Woman Rebirth, and it made no sense whatsoever. Yeah, Vita Ayala has story in there, and it was her volume, and it wasn't in her volume, though, I don't think. It was really, really weird. They just, when you have an annual, let's do all the stories in one, and when you have backups in a Wonder Woman book, have the backups in the actual volume itself, too. It's just one of those things that made no sense. That's always made no sense to me. Next up, we have The Spire. Now, starting with Flash and going on to the end, these are all newbie boobies. Never read these before. Regardless if it's like Volume 6 or whatever the fuck. The Spire by Simon Spurrier, a book I really wanted to check out. Because it was one of those books that I thought they wouldn't have for whatever reason they did, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Just looked like it was up my alley. Especially the book I got from Simon Spurrier. And it's also a 208-page, 8-issue mini-series. I got a kick out of that because that was what I got. It was the same amount of pages that I got for Last Siege and same amount of issues, too. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny. You know, it makes no sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me. Spider-Girl, Volume 6. They definitely don't have the whole entire series at my local library, which really sucks because I'm really enjoying that series. I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping I just haven't looked hard enough, but it's not looking like they do. Unless Volume 8 collects a lot more issues than any other volume has. I don't think that's the case. There's 4 complete collections. And it's everything, I think. I don't think they're including the follow-up series. They still have that, you know. Because I think it was 100 issues total. But anyways, continuing on. Game of Thrones, Volume 2. I think we need 2, it's 4 volumes of not Landry Q. Walker's run, and then Landry Q. Walker starts on Game of Thrones Book 2, Volume 1. And what was ironic about Landry Q. Walker, he wrote Last Siege, one of the one of the comparisons they are putting it to for the solicit said it's a lot like Game of Thrones. Pick this book up, yada yada yada. You know, and then I got a kick. Oh, Landry Q. Walker is actually written for Game of Thrones, so let's get that. And they didn't have. He didn't do for book 1, so I get through the whoever the hell it is that writes volume 1 or book 1. First 4 volumes at least. Letter 44, volume 6. This is the last volume in the series, and I will not be reading this again after I finish this. Not because I hate it, because this is too damn much. It's too much. Like, it's just a lot, and I didn't like some of it. I didn't like. It was very mixed. It's one of those books that I just like. I just. It's like homework, honestly. It's not like the worst homework. It's still homework. It's like homework that you can do just fine. It's easy enough. And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it is easy. Sometimes it's not. Like it's kind of like that one class. Like think of it like as like a packet. It's just like once you're done with it, like I never want to have to do that ever again. No, and I don't mean to be that mean because it is Charles Soule, and I do like Charles Soule as a writer. But that much I did not like. Bloodborne. This is Ale Scott. Let's see how he does with not Secret Adventures. A book that's not Secret Adventures. And not Generation Gone. This is a fantasy comic too. So it's a 2-for-1. Both my author I like and a genre I like. And hopefully that streak will continue with Bloodborne. Spider-Gwen, Volume 5. There's one more volume in that series, and I really don't want to. I really hate that it's almost done. I wish it went. I wish it went for a lot. Yeah, at least 50 issues. It would have been nice. And I know there's Ghost Fighter, but that's not by Jason Latour. Wonder Woman Volume 2, a lot thinner. So much only collects the. Does have the annual. It does have the super spectacular, but it's definitely just a story from it. From the 80th anniversary, 100-page super spectacular. And 780 to 784. Cool. And yes, I did just say how I hate it when I don't collect all the stories, but that's different. That's 100 pages. Annuals never exceed be beyond 50 pages, and usually it's just one story, maybe two. But it's just annoying when they do that. When they have like two stories, and one's in one volume, and the other one's in the other volume. It's like, dude, just give it all in one. It's an annual. But there are exceptions, and that is one. Lions and Tigers and Bears, a series that Your Condition recommended. It is, I believe, all ages, but it's not saying it anywhere here, which I find weird. But sometimes it's hidden. Sometimes I just gotta look. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I know it was all ages, actually, because I said it on the Amazon page. That's the main reason why I didn't get it myself, even though it's Image Comics. But, yeah, just, like, kitty books, and I mean, like, kitty books, I have been kind of hit or miss with me. The only one I really like was Discovery, which I'll probably go check out again. I was also Image, which I'll probably check that one out again next time I go to the library. Captain America, Jason Aaron. One of those books that you'd never, like... I was like, I'm Jason Aaron. I was like, oh yeah, I never heard this book. This book itself, not obvious not the character, not obvious, not ultimate universe. But just one of those kind of forgotten... Like, you'd find it in your bargain bin, like, oh, I'll check this out, And I hope it is badass Captain America. Oh, it's fun before. I just saw this on the back. Captain America has finally met his match, Captain America. It's like, oh shit, is this just a reprint of Ultimate Avengers? But that's by Mark Millar. How would I... My brain sometimes just does not work. Post Americana, the other Steve Skroce Image comic he's written. That was the main reason why I wasn't going to get Maestro's, but I found out they had Pax America. Post Americana. What's Pax America? Or Americana. Is that a superhero name? Like the Seven? Like the Boys? It's not. I don't know. Sacred Creatures. This book is it's a thick Image comic for only $22.99. I should buy it with my own money. And then it was just that mentality that I have. I just need to shut that part of my brain off, especially these days. I'm trying to not get as many. I'm trying to like buckle down and get the books I've been putting off for a long time. Yes, Sacred Creatures. Each issue is a lot longer than your average Image comic issue. It's actually 8 to 76. Whatever 76 minus 8 is about how long each issue is. It's a lot. But it's still, like, who cares? Well, I kind of do. But it's one of those things that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if they have it for free, get it for free. Even if I could have gotten it from a third-party seller at, like, what, $7 and was used like new, it was still kind of like, if you're getting it just from that. And it still looked interesting to me. The series itself still looked interesting to me and everything like that. It was supernatural. That was very interesting. Everything was up my alley. But it's like, they still have it at a local library. I'm trying to, like, tell myself, like, well, you don't have this supernatural comic from Image Comics, so you got that at the library. We got to get that too. Be a completist, I think being a completist, like, that far into it is kind of stupid. Now, if Pablo Raimondi had another series that I bought from him, it wasn't available at the local library, yeah, I get this along with it. I get this along with it. That's why I got The Few by Sean Lewis. But it's just one of those things that's, I don't know why I feel like I need to do that. And last but not least, the Unwritten Volume 7. After this, I'll have to get the OGN. It's an OGN that was supposed to be I think, if anything, was supposed to be before what I just read previously, Volume 6. Because the compendium collects everything besides, it collects the first 5 volumes, and then the OGN, so I think that was 5.5. But so far, so good. But after that, I will have to read the OGN. Because I didn't know. I always saw that. I was like, it was a ship that's saying twice. Tommy Taylor and a ship that's saying twice unwritten. And I was always like, where does that take place? It doesn't say Volume 9 or Volume 8. But I thought it was like with Metropolitan, when they never said what volume it was on the solicits, on the catalogs. So it's like, oh, it's just that. It wasn't. Or I would check out Volume 5, like, oops, I meant to get Volume 4. Or I'd look up, what that was. It was still very confusing. And so far, like, I was like, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6. No. Oh, oopsie. It's one of those things that probably makes no sense to anybody else but me. But, yeah. So, a lot of books this month and a movie. Oh, did I put that all on top of the movie? I did. Good thing the case is sturdy. That is not a good thing to do. But that, as they say, is that. See you later tonight. Well, not tonight, because it's technically won't, I'm uploading this after tonight. But next video I'll be recording will be my Chronicle. That is my point. See you in the next one. I think it's the last one, though. It will be. I'm doing it on purpose. I uploaded everything on Monday. Because I didn't just do it in order. No, I didn't. I was kind of stupid when I didn't do that. Because I bet you with that Comic Con, I was saying, oh, I mentioned this, and no, I didn't.